It's not official yet, but after these last two practices, I'm pretty sure, as is everybody else that's been out there, that CJ Stroud will be the starting quarterback very, very soon. He's taking all the reps of the ones. He's performing very well while he's doing so. And these last 2 weeks feels a little bit like maybe when you're in fourth or fifth grade and you hatch some chicks in science class. And 21 days feels like forever. You're waiting for those chickens to hatch. I feel like we started seeing some beak through the shell these last couple days. So now we're just waiting for a fully formed and beautiful, not ugly like that, CJ Stroud bursts forth from the egg. We're very, very close. So in terms of that offense, there are three things that I feel a lot better about. And there's one thing that's still very much lingering in my brain. Number one, I feel better about the quarterbacks. I feel much better about CJ Stroud, but I actually feel pretty good about Davis Mills and Case Keenum for how this team's going to be constructed this year. I think they really do want CJ to feel like he's earned it. It looks now like he is earning it. I think this will be a formality at some point. One thing I wanted to watch last night was exactly how well together CJ's feet and his eyes were tied. Because in this offense, it's a rhythm offense. So with each step, you're going through a different read in the progression. And he really looks like he's starting to get into that rhythm and find this connection with this guys. And I would say this for all the quarterbacks in this offense specifically. Last night, it felt like everything grabbed. Like it felt like guys were coming open where they were supposed to come open. I think the timing and the understanding between the quarterbacks and the receivers, not just CJ, but Davis Mills and Case Keenum, it all just seemed to jibe a lot better. So that part of it looked a lot better last night. I think one thing that was clear too was the defense was doing everything it can do, as they have been, to disguise their coverages, to try to flummox these young quarterbacks or Case Keenum, the veteran quarterback. And CJ did a really good job with that last night. Him trying to figure out where the safeties are, where they're moving at the snap, what the threat is with them coming forward. That's big, one of the challenges for him. And the cool thing is he's got a lot of advice from veterans like Des King.
I talk to him here and there and let him know, like, it's okay to, check the ball down to your safety. I know you want to make that one pass, but sometimes you just got to make the right pass instead of the pass that you want.
Okay, now Davis Mills. Again, I think Davis has had more troubles and issues with turnovers or potential turnovers and with errant balls, and yet I think he's shown progress and growth this training camp too. And last night, there was one point after one of his several nice throws last night that I wondered what the over-under was on number of games that Davis Mills plays for the San Francisco 49ers this year. With injuries and with a competent preseason showing by Davis Mills, there's a chance that San Francisco, Green Bay, Los Angeles, one of these teams that runs a similar offensive system might come knocking for Davis Mills. And the other side of that coin, I would say, is Case Keenum, who very much looks like the capable veteran backup that he is. And I think, Case might get another opportunity here or there to start in the NFL. Obviously, this year with this team, you got a number 2 overall pick. CJ Stroud's going to be the guy. I like the blend of tutelage and expertise that they have in that quarterback's room when it comes to coaching. Gerard Johnson, Bill Lazor, who's a senior advisor, and, of course, Bobby Slowick, not to mention Case Keenum. Those are a lot of years of experience, and they're helping him out. So the second thing that I'm feeling much, much better about is the receiving core in general. Because, frankly, until these last couple practices, it was a hodgepodge of start and go, errant throws or miscommunications between receivers and quarterbacks, receivers falling down, receivers batting the ball away. These last couple practices, they look like they've been dialed in. But especially last night, Tank Dell. Tank Dell, as we know, is a phenomenal athlete. It's just a matter of, okay, how is he going to adjust playing in the NFL at that body weight? And so far, the body size has been an issue at times. I've seen him on the ground, some kind of knocked and bullied to the ground in front of officials without any flags being thrown. So there have been times where he's been caught keenly aware of his size deficiency. But there have also been a lot of times where he has used crisp route running and exceptional speed to get enough separation to go up after the ball and make some catches that, frankly, a lot of guys can't make. So there's going to be excitement with Tank Dell this year. And he's certainly not scared. Watch him have to answer for probably the 800 millionth time about how he got his nickname Tank.
I had a big head when I was a baby. Yeah.
So you see the stare there at the end. That's the all right. Listen, I'm a nice guy, but we're not seriously going to be having this conversation again, are we? All right. I'm glad you got the message. CJ has also increasingly found Robert Woods. I think Robert Woods has kind of eased his way into the tub here like an old man. These last couple practices, he's been money when it comes to some of the shorter routes. Third thing I'm excited about, the running backs. This offense is starting to get a better feel for the run blocking. That includes the running backs getting a better feel for exactly where they fit. Devin Singletary had a really nice cutback from the outside zone, cutting it back against the grain yesterday, the way you hope you do in this zone blocking scheme. There have been too many instances of tackles for a loss in the run game at times, but there have also been some run plays that I think would be bust wide open. There's just a tendency to discount those when there's no pads on because you don't really know for sure. When it comes to running backs in the passing game, this is something that I think you should allow yourself to get excited by, because we knew that Devin Singletary was going to be adept as a receiver. Dameon Pierce is the one that I think has a lot of untapped potential. And we saw early in this practice running backs working with the quarterbacks on this little stutter step. And then boom, what happens during 7-on-7 red zone? It's Dameon Pierce for a touchdown with Des King in coverage. Des talked about it afterwards.
With Pierce? That was the first time I was matched up with him. But that was a good route by him and the way to catch the ball out the backfield.
Okay, the concern. Pass protection. I'm still not 100% comfortable with this pass protection. And the huge question marks, obviously, are going to be Juice Scruggs, who will now definitely be starting at center, and Kenyon Green at left guard. Now, I think Kenyon has had plenty of good snaps. There have been moments where he's had some rough snaps against Malik Collins. There have been times in the run game and the pass game where it's hard to tell watching from the sideline without being able to go back and watch the film, sometimes whether it's the center or the guard's fault. I'm very optimistic about Juice Scruggs. I think he has a functional strength on the field that doesn't always show up with guys who look strong in college. With Kenyon Green, we see flashes of the strength. I see plenty of flashes of the awareness and the ability to pick up blitzes. There are just sometimes where the coordination between the center and the guard hasn't been great, and that's not always so easy to tell whether it's the center or the guard's fault. So something to monitor. There were too many times in Saturday's practice when drives were killed because of pressure in the backfield. There was one series in particular where Malik Collins beat Kenyon Green for a sack. Next play, Malik Collins blows up a screen in the backfield. Third play, I think, ended up being another sack, but it was third and forever. So the drive stalled out effectively because of Malik Collins' play on the first two downs. Will Anderson got free, very, very free, almost where it looked like he was a blitzer. There are kind of a couple blitzes that came clean that are going to have to get cleaned up, obviously. At least one of those may have been on CJ Stroud. CJ, I think, has continued to show growth and improvement in handling the pressure and knowing when to step up, knowing when to run. So those are the three things I'm getting more and more excited about. One, the quarterbacks in general, especially CJ Stroud. Two, the receiving core, which perhaps could have some bright, burgeoning young stars. I'll accept competitors. If they're burgeoning young competitors, that makes it a better unit than a lot of people were giving this team credit for having. And three, the running backs / running game / Dameon Pierce's receiver. I feel good about them. So the one thing that I'm really concerned about right now, and I'd love to see progress once we see tackle football, the pass protection. Pass protection's just got to get better. I would include CJ Stroud in that as a rookie quarterback. He's got to continue to learn when an edge rusher is coming on a blitz, that's his responsibility, where to go with the ball. But he has shown a very good awareness of understanding where his checkdowns are. Hey, I'm Seth Payne. I played 10 years in the NFL, 5 here with the Houston Texans, and now I cover the Texans on Sports Radio 610. Please like and subscribe. If you like NFL content, if you love the Houston Texans, subscribe to this channel. Thanks.